My first marathon, I did it with a friend, and both of us were like really fat, and our wives thought that we would never be able to do a marathon, and I thought this would be a once in a lifetime like bucket list opportunity. So we signed up and we trained, and it was Dusseldorf, and we drove all the way there. And I remember being full of fear and scared, like I'm never going to be able to do this anyway. I swore to myself that as soon as it was over, I would never, ever, ever go on another run ever again. And guess what? I finished that marathon in 4 hours and 21 seconds. And the 21 seconds just killed me. Like my ego, it was more than it could take. I'm like, I missed out on a sub 4 hour marathon by 21 seconds. So I went home and I signed up for another one that was sort of 2 weeks later. And we did that, and I broke the 4 hours. And at that point, I was like, why would you go back? Why would you go back, having got to this point? Go back to a fat guy who, gets out of breath walking up the stairs and can't play football in the park with your kid. Like, keep it going. So I signed up for another one, and then I got bored running marathons, so I started doing ultras, and I got bored with that, so I started doing triathlons. And now I'm bored of that, so I'm like, what's next? And I see the Brathay, and it says 10 in 10 marathons, 10 in 10 days. I'm like, wow, I've never done anything like that before. So I signed up, and here I am, and I'm ready to get started and looking forward to it. My worst training habit is really that I find it hard to run without music, and I have terrible taste. So it's all like Taylor Swift and One Direction and fairly bad things like that, not the most masculine of musical tastes. And when you do ultras and really long races, you just go on a loop, and you just like get really, really sick of those same few songs. It drives you crazy after a while. So I wish I could change that, but so far I haven't been able to. I don't really have a plan for recovering between marathons. I kind of just expect it's going to really hurt. That's okay with me. I don't think it's like a bad thing if you're in pain and you keep going and you keep running. It's kind of, I feel alive that way. So I know there's tips and tricks and people have these things that they do, but for me, I'm just gonna keep going. I've done a bunch of stuff. I've always kind of been motivated. I'm fundamentally quite lazy. And I've always been motivated by like fear of failing stuff. And the trouble with that is, like, the further you go, you run a marathon and it's scary the first time, but second time, third time, not so much. So then I started doing triathlons because I was scared of swimming. And now I can swim, so I'm not scared of that anymore. But this is new. This is something that I've never done before, a multi-day event over 10 days. It's going to be exhausting and painful, and I'm, a little bit scared of failing. So that's what gives me the motivation to get the training in and to get the fundraising done. So I guess, yeah, that's why I'm doing it.